Being in a foreign country does not mean that a Muslim should quit all Islamic rituals, including fasting and Ramadan. To know more about the activities of Indonesian Muslims staying or living abroad, we will talk with a number of Indonesian diasporas around the world. Our guests from today are from Vienna, Austria, Pikal Anissa Gondokusumo, and from Uppsala, Sweden, Muhammad Farid Restis Tianto. Hello, Anissa and Farid. How are you doing?
Hello, good
Hey,
afternoon to everyone in Indonesia.
Hello. What time is it now in Sweden and Austria? Is it the afternoon as well for
for
Anissa?
in
In
Sweden, it's
Austria,
usually near 12. Yeah.
yeah, it's 11, almost 12, 11:47.
Okay. Wow. So lovely afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today on TVR World. I'm curious, is this both of your first times fasting abroad, far away from Indonesia, starting from Anissa first?
So this is actually not my first time to fast abroad. I'm entering my sixth year living abroad, and I had experienced several Ramadan times. For instance, during the times where the daytime is much longer, and now it's in between the winter and spring transition phase.
And for Farid, is it your first time or also not your first time?
Well, this is definitely first time for me, and especially it's very new experience because as said by because it's so longer durations for the fasting, so a lot of discoveries experience regarding Ramadan as well. Yeah.
Is the time similar or different from Indonesia, Farid? Is it also around the hour? Is it the same?
It starts. I think it's a three, four. Now it's 3:30 up until 7:50. So it would be like more than 13 hours, I would say. Yeah. So it's a longer compared to Indonesia, 1 to 2 hours, I think.
Hmm. And Anissa, you also share the same. It's about 13 hours in Vienna.
Yes, around about. So it started with 13 hours, and now it gradually increased. So I would say it's about maybe now 15-ish, approximately 15 hours. Yeah, we have iftars around 7:30 to almost 8 o'clock in the evening.
I see. And I'm guessing it also depends on the season and the weather in the country at that time. Uh, Starting from Anissa first, how have you found fasting in Vienna, Austria? You said you've been there for 6 years. So you're
Yeah.
possibly a pro at this because you've been there for so long. How have your experiences been?
For sure, experience-wise, the ambience is definitely very different to Indonesia. As I said earlier before, it's between the transition phase of winter and spring. One of the things I definitely recognize is that there is a different atmosphere. As you are maybe aware of, in Indonesia, the atmosphere is that we have wake-up calls during dawn times, which is the sahur. And let's say when it's the iftar time, there are, let's say, street vendors selling takjils, while this is something that we cannot find in Austria itself, and it's not comparable. So, yes.
Hmm. And for Farid, since this is your first time, how is your first time fasting abroad in Sweden?
Yeah. So like I said, right? So many discoveries here in the sense that, of course, as Pika also shared as well, is that we cannot find any street vendors, and we are basically do our own things in the sense that we are, creating our tajil and also sharing with others. And I find a lot of many communities here as well. We also have like our communal iftar as well. So for all Indonesian students and all who are already graduates, they are gathering around I think it's now on like every Saturday. So we basically share to, having the festivity of the Ramadan and, basically get around. Yeah.
Hmm. Is there a big Indonesian community in Sweden who are also, having, for example, breakfasting events together and iftar events together?
There is, but it's not in Uppsala. So in Uppsala, it's a bit smaller city compared to another cities like Stockholm and in the southern region of this Sweden's. But I would say it's growing as we compare to the last year. I would say, yeah. So
Hmm.
come to Sweden if you want.
That would be really great. I heard Sweden is a lovely place, as well as Vienna, which is a bigger city. So I suppose there is a bigger Indonesian Muslim diaspora. Anissa, is that correct?
That is correct. So with that, the Indonesian Muslim community, as well as the Indonesian embassy here as well, provides opportunity for us students or diasporas living here to join open iftars and doing all the key rituals, such as doing the taraweh together, or let's say also breaking iftars and just kind of curing the homesickness, spending time together.
Hmm. That's wonderful. And how do you find it, Anissa, especially for the key rituals like Taraweh? Is it different in Vienna compared to Indonesia? Because I heard that some diasporas living abroad might have a different experiences praying there.
So to say, it's always the same. I mean, key rituals are similar in a way, although the time difference are for sure later than in Indonesia. So sometimes it tends to be that once we finish our key rituals, then it's already closely to preparing ourselves for sahur time. So then maybe this could be one of the difficulties as of right now, where time changes and it gets a bit longer to break our fast. Yeah.
Okay. And how are you preparing your meals for iftar and sahur? This is what we are all curious about. Farid, because it's your first time there, what have been some of
Yeah.
your go-to meals for iftar and sahur in Sweden?
Yeah, so basically, I have to learn to cook myself, basically, and then I have to learn this basic meal prepping in a way that it's very, you know, helpful for me because when you are doing meal prepping, it's like you can have also do that for sahur, and it is like also great for me because what I live in the corridors, and it happens that one of my other corridor mates are Muslim, so we sometimes have the same time, sharing and then have a sahurs together. So it's a really nice experience to have the sour together with many new peoples in a
Mhm.
sense. Yeah.
So the community really makes a difference. And for Anissa,
Yeah.
what about you? In these 6 years, what have been your go-to for preparing for iftar and sahur?
Yeah, similar wise to Farid as well. I guess by living abroad, then it kind of helps us as well to learn to cook our meals if we actually miss our home food. But for sure, it's certainly simpler to get to good to go stuff. So maybe, especially here, there's a lot of Mediterranean cuisines that we can find, such as kebab stalls. So that's probably the easiest way to prepare ourselves for the pre-dawn meals, but certainly I would prepare like a double meal so that I could also, like, let's say in the iftar, eat the following meal and just the same wise during sahur time.
Okay. And last question for both of you, just really quickly. Can you let me know what food do you miss most from Indonesia, starting from Farid and then Anissa?
Definitely soto ayam for me.
Definitely, that's a big contender. What about you, Anissa?
I really miss rendang. Rendang food is definitely, yeah.
hopefully you'll be able to have some of that as well later on during Eid al-Fitr. Well, thank you so much, Anissa and Farid, for coming on TVR World. It's been a joy to speak to you, and we hope that everything runs smoothly until Eid al-Fitr coming next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, likewise. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.